Welcome to Homesick Philly Bros, presented by AML Media, Alberta Marie Laborda Media. Love you, Mom. I am Gene Labordi. This is my brother, Stephen Labordi. My awesome wife is producing and working her butt off to get you guys this content, and that is Rachel Labordi. Once again, welcome to Homesick Philly Bros, presented by AML Media. I'm excited for this one because we came back. I got a lot to talk about, all birds related, as we tend to do.
Let's get the plugs in real quick.
Yes.
Okay, you can find us on Twitter at AML_media_. YouTube is the same. Instagram is AML Media _. TikTok is just AML Media. And you can find us on Facebook as well under AML Media. You can find all of the links on our website, AML.NEWS.BLOG.
Perfectly done, my Miss Rachel. This is week 11 in the NFL. Eagles played the Colts. Fortunate and unfortunate kind of for us. We were doing our Thanksgiving at that time. And as a lot of people do, we had an early dinner. So we actually kind of had to miss this whole second half more or less without just kind of checking our phones. We didn't want to be rude at the family dinner. Gut reactions to the game?
Sigh of relief, really. Listen, the Colts aren't as bad as everyone thinks they are. They have a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on, but their defense is a legitimate defense. And, you know, we're stumbling a little bit, but it was a relief. Because we're having our Thanksgiving meal, and I'm looking at my phone every couple minutes, and that one really came down to the wire, and it was a nice cap off of the day. But really, it's just a relief. Because if you lose 2 in a row,
Yep.
things look a little different.
Yeah, that's when everybody, especially since we're not the national media's favorite, they're already trying to cast us out. But gut reaction, like you said, this is the NFL. Every team has good players. Like it's every given Sunday, right? Or any given Sunday, because shit can happen in the NFL. They do have Jonathan Taylor, a really good running back. I don't know all of their offensive linemen, but I know Quentin Nelson is a beast. So they have those two pieces there, a solid defense. I was losing it because our first possession, refs are already messing with us again.
Yeah, they came back in a big way again.
And it's 2 of them were penalties, but one of them was a legal man upfield, and it was just Jason Kelce double teaming and was blocking the hell out of somebody. And you know, you go 1st and 35 in your first possession, you're just, you know. So I almost kind of was glad that we had to take our mind off the game, because I would have just sat there and taken the punishment and had the slight heart attack until we pulled it off.
Right.
Because I did get to go back and watch detailed highlights of it. And with it being a low-scoring game, the way it played out, it was exciting, but that hurts too much to watch to the Colts, who aren't doing too great, but once again, the NFL team. So
Yeah, and their offensive line was struggling a lot. But since Jeff Saturday came in for the Colts, they've gotten it together a little bit. And quite frankly, we'll get into the offense here. We missed Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
And it showed. We had 3 other tight ends play in this game. All 3 of them got a penalty.
And just such a dynamic player. Goddard, I mean, obviously he can catch the ball, catch big-time, you know, game winners, if you want to call it that, but also is a very, very solid blocker. And having a mobile quarterback and having a good running game, that was one thing, again, too. I think it took us too long to get the running game going for us.
Yeah, well, like the Colts are good. They're a good defense. So I kind of expected it to be low scoring. I think I predicted 24-17 last pod. We didn't even hit that mark.
Yeah.
But there's a big adjustment here playing without Goddard. And the penalties, we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. These are things we were not doing in the first 8 games.
And weird penalties. I've never seen, just in this season alone, I've seen more illegal men downfield than I ever have in all of my watching NFL history, I feel like, altogether.
Right. That's because we run a lot of RPOs, and it must be an emphasis this year.
Yeah, I guess.
But, according to the rule, they are legit flags, but
I just think
can't have it.
Other ones I've seen, I go, okay, timing got messed up, especially on like a screen or something. But if you're just blocking the hell out of somebody, that shouldn't be, because that's what that was. Like, it was just a double team. We had their defensive tackle on roller skates, and it wasn't like, besides just them blocking the hell out of them, it wasn't like affecting the play. Like, it wasn't like we picked off a linebacker or something with it.
Yeah, they're gonna keep happening
Regardless.
those. So try to get used to it. I think we're gonna see one of those a game, basically. The offensive line had a solid game. Jalen actually had a good game. I mean, obviously he ran for like 80 yards, something like that, and obviously the game-winning touchdown. But we're beating ourselves on offense, and without Dallas Goedert or not, we left a lot of meat on the bone, as they say.
And turnovers again.
Yeah.
I mean, which is
A.J. Brown's turnover. Did you see that play?
I did, yes.
Terrible.
And it was just the timing of it, and that's something that I don't think we're going to see many more of those. I think
by him.
That
was just a bizarre play.
And then the strip on the quarterback. I think he stayed in the pocket. He was just going for a big play, and that defensive end got there.
What happened on that play was actually Jordan Mailata screwed up, because Ngakoue should not be being blocked by Miles Sanders by himself. That protection broke down. That should have been a 2-man block. You know what I mean? So that was just a busted play.
Yeah.
Because there's no way Miles Sanders can block a defensive end one-on-one.
Which you almost you'd rather see a mental mistake than like physically incapable, because a mental mistake, these are pros, they can fix. So like when you see something like that, all right, boys, just study it, learn it, and like we can move past. That's the type of thing I can kind of move on from.
These are things that should be getting ironed out at this point in the season, and we're seeing them come up where they weren't early in the season.
And I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's like we had such a weird. Like, we played 3 games in 5 weeks, and the timing of it, I can't not help but think that there's something there, because we were doing awesome. We had big wins, coming out strong and then finishing strong, and then it just seemed like our whole timing was messed up, which anyone who's, most sports, you can practice best you can, watch film, but it's in the games that you have to, push comes to shove kind of thing.
You get a rhythm, and this was another short week. Right? So, hopefully, now that we're going to be playing Sundays, I think, until Dallas, maybe.
I believe so.
We'll see. I don't really know. At this point, it's been like 3 or 4 games where we've started to stumble a little bit. We got to get it together. Ever since the Texans ran the ball down our throats, we've started,
And it's like, we're not even wonder. It is what it is. They know a game plan that can play against our defense.
Right.
And another thing I was seeing, it just seemed like, I don't know if they were not bubble screens, but just the sidelines. There were some passes where I go, how is that guy so wide open? It's like he got lost in the scheme. And I have to think, we're so worried about maybe stacking the box for the run to stop it, and then someone just kind of leaks out.
Josiah Scott didn't have a great game.
No.
He's going to be. We still have Avonte Maddox out for 2 weeks, so we're gonna have to make up for that weak link. I don't think he's going to suddenly become. He's not going to go up another level in these next 2 weeks, and hopefully Avonte Maddox can come back when he's off IR.
Yeah,
that's not a guarantee.
Seemed like good linebacker play though. Edwards seems
TJ
like
Edwards had an unbelievable game.
And they were saying in training camp he was looking really good too. That he's
Yeah,
taking
but
that next step or something.
I don't think anybody saw this season coming.
Nah, yeah. I mean,
His
especially that game.
contract's up at the end of this year. So that's another guy that I can't see them letting him walk.
Hopefully not. When you find, we haven't had great linebackers or even like good linebackers in quite a bit.
We've had some thin seasons at the linebacker position.
Singletary was our best linebacker for like almost a season and a half.
Who's he playing for? I think he's in Denver now. He's playing all right, but he should not be your
best.
Yeah, he should not be your signal caller. And after the game, Jonathan Gannon gushed about T.J. Edwards, or not after the game, but in his media availability this week.
As he should have. He put up numbers
Yeah, and he plays with some aggressiveness and some physicality. Kaiser White doesn't have that. And I think next season, Kaiser will be gone, but TJ will be back. No doubt about it. But overall, the defense, I think we're averaging 18 points a game we're giving up. So that's great.
Yeah.
You'll sign up for that at the beginning of a season every season.
Do you think something's wrong? Do you think Fletcher Cox is not at 100 or something? Do you think there's something that they're not saying there?
No. If he was hurt, listen, last week he was my bum, right? He played better this week, but still, guys tend to take a downturn around 30, and I don't know. It's weird. He's really up and down. He has some good games, and he just doesn't seem to bring it every week.
Yeah. And he's getting up there, and he's been so banged up and played through being banged up.
Yeah,
that stuff starts to add up eventually.
I'm sure he's not 100%.
Well, no one in the
he's
NFL is
injured.
100% right now,
exactly.
of course.
But that first drive, they came out. Jonathan Taylor had 49 yards on 7 carries. That's not good, and a touchdown. And right away, Jonathan Gadden or Sirianni, someone decided, all right, put the new guys in. This can't happen.
It looked
again.
like Sue had. I seen just one play. He was pretty dominant. He just shucked the center and put pressure on the quarterback. So that was nice to see there. Brandon Graham had a big. Did he get the sack or was it just a? Yeah. So
that was pretty much what sealed the game.
Yeah.
But Linval Joseph looked better at just two-gapping than anybody we've seen ever since Jordan Davis went down. Like, he looked like he's been playing all season and in top form.
That's exciting to think that, okay, we brought 2 guys in that are at least holding up to what we need them to be, or at least want them to be, whatever. And
we need them to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to think that Jordan Davis will come back, you know.
Let's hope.
Hopefully in shape. He's a rookie in the league. Is he going to put in the work with the injury? You just got to hope that. But he seemed to love playing ball.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about him not doing the work. I'm worried that was a bad sprain. And again, just because you're off IR doesn't mean you're going to play if you're not healthy enough. But that's why they brought these guys in. And honestly, bringing in these 2 guys makes me think he might not be able to go after this game.
Yeah.
After this game.
Well, a young guy, let him get to heal that shit up, because ankles, that can be something that just the rest of his career, if we rush it, can just, I know that better than anybody with my shitty ankles.
And if Linval Joseph can keep playing like this, don't get hurt. I mean, you don't need to rush him back.
True.
And that's what I mean. I think they brought them guys in, obviously, because we're getting the ball stuffed down our throat in the run game. But as soon as, after that first drive, they brought those 2 guys in, started rotating them in, and we basically shut down the run game.
Yeah, we could get back, you think 3 weeks from now we could maybe have a very scary defensive rotation.
I don't know how they're going to keep all these guys
on
the active roster. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see where they lose.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Special teams, nothing really to talk about there. There was nothing big, nothing bad.
Nah, a game with a bunch of field goals. Nothing popped out. But yeah, overall, you shouldn't be worried about this defense. If these guys can solidify the run, we're going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah, and it's just offense. And we still are believers in Hurts for sure. He seems to just have the mentality of let's get this stuff fixed, guys, and he has the veterans around him that are giving him the support. So I'm having a hard time with my bum and beast.
Yeah, this is our signature segment.
Yeah, and once again, we didn't get to watch it live, so I didn't get to feel
We
it.
went back and watched most of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I know the gist, but it's just hard to pick because so many things come into play. I'll let you start. Who was your bum?
I hate to do it, but I gotta go with Josiah Scott. He's not a rookie, and he just got exposed too many times. Honestly, it's either that or AJ Brown with that goofy, weird fumble. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go with Josiah Scott because we really miss Avonte Maddox, and it shows.
Yeah. Can I say just the tight end play all in general for my bust?
You could.
Well, for my bum, I mean, I'm gonna go with that. Just nothing else is like sticking out crazy.
It was a weird game.
Yeah, and once again, we went from such a high level, and we kept going with it. So like, I gotta give the coaching staff like the credit of like don't just abandon it right away because you can't, because then it shakes up everything, game plan,
Abandon
whatnot.
what?
Like just abandon their tight end play because we.
Oh yeah, you have to have some. Yeah, and I think they're gonna try to get Calcaterra involved because you can't just have that as a non-factor.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Jack Stoll comes on the field, it can't be a tell that they're gonna run or throw a screen. You know what I mean? So you have to get these guys involved a little bit. Jack Stoll had one catch. That was all the production. We had more penalties by tight ends than catches by tight ends, and I didn't expect them to burst on the scene, but we need better.
Yeah.
So that's a good bum. I guess. Yeah.
Beast.
You got one? You want me to go first?
You go first. I kind of got one.
I think it's so impressive what Linval Joseph did to come off the couch. And if you really watch the defensive line play, he played just under 30 snaps. Everything changed once those guys started coming in. Linval specifically looked like he was in peak form, like he hadn't been on the couch. And he looked like our best interior D lineman immediately. So you can't not give him that award. He was a beast.
My beast, and it feels so cornball to say.
Hey, it's a good one.
This was the first time we came back from under 10.
That's his first fourth quarter comeback of this season for sure. Yeah, and he had chances and didn't finish them.
When the strip sack happened, it didn't seem to rattle his cage too much. That's why I like to see it. I think quarterbacks can learn that, but I think he already has that of like the goldfish memory of can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like move forward, don't let it affect, because it didn't affect him trying to like hold that ball for a quick second to get a deeper pass kind of going.
Right.
And then obviously just his legs, that touchdown.
Look, he had to run in this game. We couldn't get the ball. We had so many opportunities in their side of the field that stalled out for one reason or another. Again, I said this, why don't they throw the ball to Miles Sanders ever? There's no screen game. He had to run, and he was your beast. Mm-hmm. And it was a nice, not a walk off, but I was pretty confident when they scored that 17th point to go up by 1 that the defense would shut it down. And a side shout out to Brandon Graham for
good job, buddy.
Especially after last week when
that comeback. That's a veteran move there. Also, and I would like to see if he caught it, but that long pass interference to Miles Sanders. Because let's see if he would have caught that. I would really like to know if that's a viable option, which it should be. He used to be able to catch the ball.
It's not that he's dropping the ball. They're just not involving the backs in the pass game.
Well, I'm just saying last year he was just doing dumb drops.
He was dropping a lot of passes last year, but not just Miles Sanders, backs as a whole. It just is odd that we don't get them more involved. I mean, for how long did we watch Andy Reid and Doug Peterson? The screen game to the backs was always a huge part of it. But we'll see. I mean, maybe they're saving it for a game where they just go all tendency breakers and throw a bunch of I doubt it, but
I'll give a little, and I've seen this, and in some markets it won't work. I'll give an honorable mention to Sirianni for after the games going standing on the bench and giving a "yeah, boys" to the fans.
let me ask you this about that. Do you think it was a bit much, considering it was a 17-16 eke out a win game?
No, because in the fashion it happened. That was all packed. That was heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, they went from doing dog crap to just pulling it out.
Right. And he talked about it in his presser today. He said, I hope it didn't look like I was taunting the fans. He was talking to the Philadelphia
Yeah, you can see
fans.
it's the Eagles fans.
You know, things get twisted around and put
watch
through
the video
grapevine.
once
Right,
for yourself.
So
and
he did clarify that. And I also have another question for you. There was some AJ Brown mentioned that like in like the second half of that game, getting towards crunch time, like Jalen Hurts was like on the sidelines laughing and stuff and joking around. And would you agree that that could rub some guys the wrong way?
For sure, I definitely can agree that rubs some guys can rub guys the wrong way.
All about these guy rubs, dude.
I love the guy rubs, but no, I seen something earlier that actually changed my opinion a little bit, and it was one of the Detroit Lions coach talking about their running back, I believe, and he just he wears like Pokemon headbands out in warm-ups and stuff.
Okay.
And because usually that would be like, what are these? They're looking like idiots. Come on, guys. But he goes like, I have to let these guys be themselves, or he wouldn't have had that game if I didn't let him kind of roll his way. And also, I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but like anything.
Like you've been on sports teams, and I'm sure you've had players on your teams that weren't taking this shit seriously, and you're 100% invested.
If that was the kicker,
right? Okay,
but not when it's
Jalen Hurts,
who hasn't proved anything that he's not completely 100% committed,
and he's the unquestioned leader of the
team.
And
even
I mean, the veterans.
He's doing things that I'm like, just fucking go down when he's running the ball.
Yeah.
He's just showed nothing but complete dedication.
Yeah.
So if that was a third string D back or something,
I hear you.
A nobody wide receiver, I'd go yeah.
Then you're getting cut.
Yeah, like
but it's just funny. I was thinking because I was always that guy who was joking around and laughing and having fun, and there were times where people were like, what the fuck, Labordi? Take this shit more seriously. And like, my thing is like, I'm out here busting ass, dude. Like I'm doing my job.
Yeah, my laughing is doing nothing but actually maybe making me have more energy.
And yeah, just trying to lift some spirits around here. But I was just curious because you've played lacrosse. I was wondering how you would.
I was gonna say in football, just from the program we came to, I'd never joked. In football, I didn't really joke on the field as far as when coaches were around. Locker room's totally different. But in lacrosse, being a goalie and just holding so much weight,
That's a big burden.
I was jovial out there because I kind of had to for my own mental health. Of like, I just let 20 goals by me.
Right.
If I don't laugh, I'm going to cry, kind of thing.
Right. Right. So let's talk about the Packers coming up.
This could be a really weird game. I don't know what to think of Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know what to think about the Packers.
Well, all in general, but I mean, it all weighs on his shoulders. I mean, he's in just the last few years has gotten basically his coach fired. Devontae Adams, it seems like he was like, I don't want to play with this guy. It's not obviously that's never going to come out, but it's a weird team right now.
Yeah, he seems to be kind of like blasé about his performance and like it's other people's fault.
The old ayahuasca thing, and now he's this old hippie.
I'm tired of hearing about that.
Yeah, it's just.
Can we just get past it? He did ayahuasca.
Yeah, cool, dude. Like, you're a professional. That's what you do after you retire and then start a podcast.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I'm saying
but shut up. Yeah,
constantly. It's not him talking about it. It's the media talking about it.
Yeah,
he's not there talking anyway. He's not been playing well. They made a huge mistake by letting Adams walk because clearly Aaron Rodgers has a history of not trusting young receivers, and it's just it's like Groundhog Day. It's the same problem that's been there before. But I will say this: Jones is a good running back. They proved against Dallas that they can run the ball and stick to it. And that kid Christian Watson looks like another North Dakota State boy. He looks like he's 6'5", dude. He runs like lightning, and he's a white guy, so that's exciting.
It's just interesting to see.
No, it's exciting.
In present day NFL.
Yeah.
Well, and in it is still Aaron. There's still some Aaron Rodgers in there. He's still a gunslinger.
He
if
can
you want
still
to
make
throw
all
that.
the throws.
So like that is the scary part of, unless you're up by 3 possessions, like you still just have to always stay. Which I mean every NFL game, but like I won't be comfortable until that clock hits 3 zeros or we have like a 4 possession lead in the second half.
You're very rarely comfortable in a football game.
Nah,
regardless.
yeah,
But this team recently, they haven't pulled out early in the game. The Eagles, I'm saying. So, listen, the Packers have a ton of high draft picks on their defense. They haven't really played up to that. A lot of people think it's scheme. Regardless, I don't see us running through these guys. If you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said they got no shot. We're gonna kill them. But after that Colts game. But it's so weird because the Packers beat the Cowboys, right? And then they lost last week. And it's just like 4-7, right? That's not... I think they've lost like 6 straight.
and I mean,
Or not 6 straight. 6 of the last 7, I should say.
and they've lost. So, I mean, not to because they are looking good, but like the losing to the Jets, losing to the Lions.
Jets beat the Bills.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
The NFL's weird this year,
It
and
is.
the Packers are another one of those weird teams. How many teams can you really bank on playing well and keeping a game close every week? The Chiefs?
yeah, and
That's about it.
And just quick glancing, they're not scoring. The Packers aren't scoring. What?
No,
How? In the last few years have they won games by scoring?
their offense is
30 or getting
bad.
close to 30. Yeah.
you can label them as bad and not be exaggerating. Their offense is bad. But so as long as we control the run,
Yeah.
I think I have a hard time seeing those receivers beat us.
So, and I mean, when we're controlling the run, we can let our cornerbacks play their game.
Yeah.
I think that's when we've seen Darius Slay get beat or something. I think it's because he's getting asked to
Tackle.
get up in
Yeah.
get up in the stuff when
Which
it's
he doesn't want to do, and he talks
No.
about that on his
Yeah,
podcast.
no, I don't want him to. Let the other guys tackle it so we have him. You stop wide receivers from getting big gains on
Right.
us. So the key to the game, I guess, is stop the run and offense just get back on track.
Yeah, the penalties. We got to stop with the penalties. Because, like you said earlier, 1st and 35 right off the bat, we can't... That kills so much momentum before you even get started. Something like that. So my prediction for this game is another close game. Unfortunately, that's my gut feeling, is that it's going to be probably a 21-13 game. Eagles.
So actually, not as I was saying. I think it's just because they like to stress me out. I think it's going to be a 24-21 game.
It's hard. I'm just hard for me to see the Packers scoring 21 on us. That would be bad, in my opinion. But that's your prediction. So
You know what? Actually, 20-24.
Okay.
Because I think just the way their teams, like I think we can get red zone stops. We've proven that.
Yeah.
So like I mean Rodgers I think can get those 15 chunk yards, but once we get it, kind of within the red zone, I think we'll be able to stop them, force them to 2 field goals type of thing.
Okay. And remember, we're wearing the All Blacks.
I'm very excited for that.
And you're a uniform guy.
Yeah,
Kid
well,
loves uniforms.
It's
gear
cool, man. It's
and
like,
pads.
listen, it's like I was the guy in wars that I was like, we need to look awesome and scary because it helps.
Yeah. No, I'm
Look good,
excited
feel good,
too.
play good.
You're right, and I'm excited for the Blacks too. A home game.
And can you think the last time we had a black helmet?
We do it. Well, it was against the rules.
Oh yeah.
You can only have one helmet.
Do you ever foresee actually Kelly Green coming back?
It's official.
Did
Jerry
they
Lloyd,
make it
next
official?
season they're going to do
Okay.
the Kelly Greens. Okay, so you got 24-20 Birds.
Yes, Birds.
And how confident are you that in the W? Honestly, because I'm not that confident.
65-35.
So not that confident.
Not that
Yeah,
no.
because its offense just hasn't looked like itself, has it? And with Dallas Goedert out,
That is the hurt piece, and I just like
the penalties, it's just been messy. And I will be pissed off. This is Sunday Night Football, is it not?
yes.
In the link, All Blacks, prime time, we cannot put out another embarrassing performance. Monday night, we got beat by the Commanders. I mean, this is a big game for me.
It's showcasing because all right, we had the loss to the Commanders, who once again not a terrible team now that
They're playing really well,
Yeah.
but that's not the point.
And then to our bounce back game to almost lose that without like just some like not luck because we earned it. So this for us to regain our dominance because you're already seeing people they love to hate us, so they're already saying
Well, we have shown some chinks
yes,
in the armor,
of course,
but we are 9-1.
But I want this to be dominant. Like I wish I could say I think we'll win by 2 possessions. I want to see us get back to our old formula. Get up by score first possession and then have a dominant second quarter.
Yeah, I think we should take the ball if we win the toss and get out because the last few games we've deferred and the other team got the ball and basically drove 70 yards and scored a touchdown. But that's not going to happen.
I was looking
every
at something.
time.
Apparently, there's some statistic there because you want your defense.
Analytics, yeah.
Yeah, so the deferring apparently is statistically the right thing to do.
No, yeah.
I don't fully
So
understand.
real quick, another quick little segment on this game. We're going to do Who You Got. I want you to give me one player.
So I don't want to go the cornball. Obviously, offense needs to score. Like Jalen is the easiest answer.
I want one player that's going to shine and surprise.
Dominic Sue.
Okay.
And I say that because he has gusto going into this game. He has straight out come out and say, I hate the Packers. I
Yeah.
can't wait to get up in Aaron's face. So
You think he's going to get a sack?
yes,
Or he's just going to.
I think he's going to get a sack or a big deflection for maybe an interception. I'm
Okay.
going to see something like that
I would love to see that.
because I he's a little bit older of a man. Maybe this is the week he's like, all right, I'm really selling out for
or
it.
maybe he's like, damn, Linval Joseph shined more than me last week. I'm the
And-
other new guy.
It might be him just having to get in that little bit of football shape, getting used to the bumps
Yeah,
and
they
bruises.
don't really play the same technique anymore.
No.
But I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. I think without Dallas Goedert,
Over 100?
yeah. I'm predicting between the backs and the quarterback, we're going to break 200 yards rushing in this game. But Miles Sanders is going to be your player of the game.
I want to see that. I know Jalen can do it, and I know Miles can do it, but I don't like having to see Jalen save that for the big games. Let your run I just want to see our running backs be running backs and dominate the ground because then the offensive line starts getting really excited too.
Right.
So
Yeah. And everybody gets rolling when
Feed the
running game's
hogs.
rolling. And throw them a pass once in a while.
yeah.
Okay, last thing on the Eagles, real quick. Media people, stop mentioning that Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds, and that's why he can get in the end zone when he runs the ball. He squatted 600 pounds in college. He doesn't squat 600 pounds. That's not part of his training regimen. You can't do podcasts and TV spots and make the same comment about him squatting 600 pounds. People are watching, and they can see that you are just rehashing some dumb line that everybody else has rehashed. I don't get paid to do this. You do. Be better. Do you agree with that?
If your job is sports, it makes it look like you haven't done your homework.
You just sound like a goob.
Yeah, like he's a good quarterback because he squats a lot. This isn't a left guard, dude. This is someone who has all the tangible skills.
Right.
And then, yes, he also used to be able to do that, but
He's mentioned in interviews that he doesn't squat like that anymore.
because there's no reason to. That's just beating up.
Trust me, the staff in the Eagles locker room, the training staff, they don't want him squatting 600 pounds.
No.
So he can run and get in the end zone because he's big and he is strong and athletic. But listen, I've heard some guy, and I'm big on not exaggerating. I've heard some guys use that line 4 or 5 times in different spots. Just be better. You're getting paid.
We're rookies, and I think we've only said it once.
I've never said it because I did my homework and watched the interview where he said I don't squat that much. That was when I was powerlifting with my dad and brother. God, just pay me, and I'd give you guys what you really need to hear.
Has Rube mentioned it a lot?
No. He might have done it once like everybody has. But, I watch everything and hear everything.
And he probably did it very early on because he does his homework.
Yeah. And I read his shit on website. Yeah,
Shout
he's
out
a
Ruben
pro.
Frank.
He's a pro. It's these fucking... Anyway.
Yeah. But so just to jump into like that connecting piece there a little bit is he said that very emphatically and described it all on the Kelsey's podcast.
Right, which the whole world's seen now.
Well, yeah, I guess we don't have to. New Heights, we don't need to promote it. But it is fun. I love Jason Kelsey. Every Eagles fan in the world loves Jason Kelsey. So it's nice to see him. They talk a lot of football, obviously, but it is nice to just see him. What's his favorite Thanksgiving food, which is green bean casserole.
Hey, mine too.
So that was cool. I guess
the reason that I put that on the lead sheet is because, like you mentioned earlier, he had an issue in the middle of the most recent episode. His brother mentioned him snapping the ball over Jalen's head and how that ruined a drive, and you couldn't tell at first. And then suddenly he picks up a grape or something.
He takes a sip of it looks like coffee because it's in a mug, and bites on something and goes, I'm going to need a minute here.
Yeah.
And then cut to
the next day.
He's like, if you can tell I look different, I had to really step away, which as a Eagles, I love that because that dude just went, I'm here to have a good time, and something flashed him. He goes, I need to do a self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it was just brothers poking fun. He goes, I hear the excuse train. And he goes, you know what? I think in his mind, he goes, I need to make some calls because I did make an excuse, I think.
I honestly think he's intelligent enough to realize in that moment, if I just laugh this off, half of the Philadelphia fan base is going to be like, you're not taking this shit serious enough, which I don't really think is true because he's earned the right to laugh things off. But I think that's kind of what went through his head.
I seen complete sincerity there.
You think he was legitimately that upset?
I think so.
Okay, I hope you're right.
Because unless they planned that, because
no, it wasn't planned.
Yeah, so I think it was sincere, and I
Dear
think
God, if it's planned, that would
that
wasn't planned.
And just knowing him, and they're NFL players. This is all they care about, basically. So.
Yeah, I was just saying because they mentioned several times that they were going to do a podcast before, but they're worried that the fan bases and their teammates wouldn't think that they're all the way in on football.
Which is 1,000%.
It is true.
But at this point, both got Super Bowls, both top of their class. One of them doing it. It's crazy to think that Jason Kelsey might be at his prime right now as far as his grading outs and stuff. So they earned it. You guys keep doing it because
and we're gonna get one of the Kelsey brothers on the pod eventually.
Or just let us talk to you for a little
bit.
bit.
Give us a shout out. He will literally blow you, Jason.
I might not do that because my wife's in the room. Wink, wink.
Right.
But yeah, just we don't want to take up too much of your time on this podcast. Just to cover the other sports we got going on. Union, nothing going on. We lost championships, so we waiting to see if any moves happen there. The Phillies.
The Phillies have extended Dave Dombrowski, signed him for a 3-year extension. President of baseball operations. He's actually the first president of baseball operations we've ever had. That used to be the GM was the top guy, and we brought him in to supplant even the GM role. So anyway, much deserved, and bring us Trey Turner. Do what you need to
Do it.
And I think he's gonna do everything he can to get that guy.
Talking about someone blowing something to make someone happen. You'd get a little frisky to get him in that ball club.
Yeah, I'll do one of these with Trey Turner and Dombrowski. I mean, you know,
We'll get it all working.
So yeah, so good job, Phillies ownership, John Middleton.
Yeah. Sixers, they beat the Nets. They're pulling out some wins with a lot of our
Embiid was out. That's the reason it's on the league.
Yeah.
Embiid was out. Harden's
out.
I think
Maxey's
was
out.
So yeah, he has a fraction. I haven't checked to see how long he's going to be out. I kind of don't want to know.
It's just a shame the young kid's just blowing up.
I
It's
don't
awesome.
think it's like a season ender.
No, but you just want to see him like just keep. He because he loves playing
And
ball.
you want to watch it. He's a highlight reel every night. He's fun to watch. But the reason that I wanted to mention this game is because we haven't expressed any of our opinion on Ben Simmons, and you could see that I wrote down Simmons is a wiener because he is, and now that's officially on the record.
If there's a definition of a person being a wiener, it's got to be that guy. I won't even give him the excuse of head case because there's so many people. Our right tackle for the Eagles came out and had to miss games because he said my mental health was so bad, and then went and got it fixed. There's therapy, dude. If this is a mental thing, get it fixed. But I think he's just being. I think he's like, I don't have it, so I'm just gonna try and fake injuries.
I don't think he has a competitive bone in his body, and he showed that in college at LSU. He just was lackadaisical, didn't really give a shit. I think he's not a competitor,
and he does dumb things like
he's a bitch, dude.
And then wearing dumb stuff on the sidelines, like wearing like big yellow sweaters. Like, dude, you had given so much apparel. Stop trying to be cool and be a fucking basketball player.
The worst part about Ben Simmons is that he was gifted by God this amazing athletic ability and size, and he'd rather be a Twitter celebrity and a sideline showcase. And the idea that he could pull this shit about his mental health and his back, he's got his cell phone in his pocket at practice. Doc Rivers picked on me. I went out of Philly. You're just a joke. And there's nobody in the media that I've heard. And, I watch a lot of shit. I haven't heard anybody really take his back after last season's whole debacle. So now we're on the record. Ben Simmons, you're a joke, and your crew couldn't even beat us with all our best players out.
Yeah, and you know what? Face to face, I'm not scared of you. I'll say that out loud because I'm American. Nah, he's gigantic. It would be terrifying. But yeah, it just the Harden trade. I was like, oh, cool, we're getting Harden. But I was more excited. I was like, someone's taking Simmons off our hands.
For real.
Idiots.
Yeah, they are, and they're gonna pay for it all season.
They are, yeah. And then Steven likes to say hockey still sucks.
It does.
It's hard to watch just because in the area we are, so I haven't been following. I will say we're honest sports fans, so I'm never going to say I know something that I don't about it. Haven't watched it. All I know is uniform. They've lost the last 7 games.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch losing hockey games with supposedly having this on paper good team. Hockey's such weird, so long. And
the thing about hockey is that it sucks, and nobody fights anymore, and the coaches are all hothead weirdos that drink way too much, and that's the cool part about the sport.
I played a little bit of hockey growing up.
Well, you've got the build for hockey, you see.
It's one of those sports I like to play. Live hockey is one of the best sports to see live. I will stick up for that because the noises, it really is like a whole thing. But yeah, if you're a big hockey Flyers fan, this might not be the best podcast for you.
Yeah, just sorry.
But it's a Philly sport, so we still, I haven't Flyers T-shirt. We'll put it at that.
Right, that's about it.
That seems it.
Come on back next week.
Come on back. Once again, this is Homesick Philly Bros, presented by AML Media. Rachel, want to give us the quick plugs again?
Okay, we're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can always go to our website to find all of our links, AML.NEWS.BLOG.
Go to the website. That's going to be the easiest for you. I'm Gene. That's Steven. This is my lovely wife, Rachel, doing all the hard work for us. Philly Sick Home Bros. Keep a lookout.
Smash that like button.
Smash that.
To play.